do you guys want to introduce yourselves, your band name, etc.?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, hi. We're Wildhunt from Vienna, Austria. We're a thrash heavy metal band. Yeah, I'm this is Julian, the guitarist, or Julian as we say, and I'm Wolfgang.
I was going through your guys' names, and I know it's kind of the stereotype that Americans are bad with non-American names, but man, I had such trouble trying to pronounce them, and I was trying so hard to not embarrass myself for the interview. But anyway, yeah, I want to set up this interview just because I thought your guys' newest album was probably one of the best albums that had come out this year. Still,
Thanks.
so far, I thought it was such an incredible mix of kind of like this progressive Dream Theater esque, but metal, but with like really heavy new wave British heavy metal and classic, Judas Priest esque and thrash influences. I just thought it was an incredible album.
Thank you.
Of course, of course,
Really appreciate
of
that.
course. How's your guys' tour been?
Sorry.
How's been playing live? You guys have any like I know I just saw you guys' tour or poster announcement for playing. How's been playing live with the new album?
It was great. We didn't have a proper tour or something like that, but
But
just
yeah,
played
sorry, I should have said that was my bad.
a
Yeah.
couple
Um,
of shows, and they were
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Yes, we
yeah,
also had a release show in February.
that's the one I
And
saw. Yeah,
yeah, and
yeah.
in Vienna.
If I ever
Uh,
am out in Austria, I'll have to come see you guys live. But yeah.
Would
yeah,
be
yeah,
would be
we'll
great.
be back. Yeah.
So to start out, on your guys' previous album, Descending, you guys had it was at least from what I heard was it was more thrash oriented than straight up thrash oriented, and didn't have as much of the new wave influences, at least from what I heard. What did you guys? Was there like a something you guys did differently in the writing and creative process recording your guys' newest album?
Mm, yeah, to be honest, I it was kind of a continuous
Hmm.
process. Right after we brought out Descending, we basically started writing on the new stuff, and I, to be honest, I didn't even notice really a big difference in
Okay.
the style myself. But of course, when Julian joined the band right after Descending, and his style brought a lot of new nuances as well to the sound, and we all progressed as musicians, I think, and a lot of things became possible that weren't that easy, maybe, or that I think we became a little bit more polished, maybe, as a
That makes
band.
sense. Yeah.
And yeah, I think yeah, looking back, the first album is, I think, the thrash elements are far more prominent and
Yeah.
faster, more raw.
Mhm.
Yeah, but the way I see it, I see the new album still as a mix of thrash and heavy metal.
Okay, that makes
Mhm.
sense. Yeah. Just and I also noticed you guys' production. I don't know where you guys recorded it, but the production of the first album is awesome as well. But man, everything sounds so crisp on the newest one. It's incredibly well produced, from at least what I can hear. But I was gonna ask if you guys was there anything you guys wish you could have improved on, or had wish go looking back had done differently with the new album. Any songs or like parts of songs you wished you had changed?
I think um, we wouldn't change some songs or the sound. I think
Okay.
we were happy with it. Maybe just some like organization or like uh, how to how to record something like that, but not something that changed would change the outcome or the sound of the album or the songs.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I
Um,
think there's no song or anything where we where we now saying, "Ah, okay, we should have done it something
okay.
like should have done it something uh, different."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Also,
Sorry, go
we're
ahead.
glad that you like the sound and say you said it's a crisp sound, and
Yeah.
That
I
was the aim.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're really also very happy to have found Thomas Peuschel, who produced the or mixed and mastered the album and recorded it. He really captured what we had in mind, and
Oh, that's awesome.
it's for me it's different from the first album, which I still love, but I can hear what I would make differently now. And I mean, the new album is not so long ago, but I can still listen to it and don't always have to think, oh, I should have done this thing differently or so. So
Yeah.
we still
Okay.
have.
Yeah, and well, also what I liked about it, it was super clean production, but it didn't feel. I don't like the term overproduced, but it didn't feel so clean that it felt like it was like, recorded on a MIDI grid by grid and super polished, and it was all quantized. It still had a lot of that rawness of Descending, but just with a overall cleaner sound, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we tried not to put it on a grid and to record everything on just perfectly on point.
Yeah.
So we tried to stay with the human playing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and we just wanted to we have our influences and the albums which we love to listen to, and we took that as our inspiration, and still didn't want to make it sound too old school or too modern, something, but more like a timeless thing,
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's, I think, yeah.
I
think
thought
we could achieve that.
I thought you guys because it does really sound like it doesn't sound really it does sound like its own thing, like you said. It's not really modern or trying to be old school. It's very I guess a lot of bands are now copying styles from legacy bands and whatnot, and you guys I thought you guys had such a unique sound, and it sounds very original. Like, obviously you have influences, so I was curious, what are your guys' biggest band influences or bands that inspired you?
Yeah, I think the biggest influence is, I think for me and for you too, is Metallica.
Okay.
So
like classic
not a big
Metallica.
surprise.
Not a big surprise.
Like,
so
by the
Metallica
way,
is like the biggest one, or I think the most, the strongest one.
Okay.
And also bands then like Megadeth for me, and
for me, Iron Maiden personally, or bands like King Diamond. I like bands that are trying to. I also like the straight stuff, but I like bands who are straying away a bit from the just AB songwriting style.
Well, that's one thing I really liked. Like, the songwriting was so progressive. Like, I mean, even the opening, Touching the Ground, that's probably one of my favorite openings. It kind of reminded me a little bit of the opening of Fight Fire with Fire, where it's like kind of that stark change from this super nice acoustic soft intro. But I just thought it was super well done. I actually tried learning it a couple weeks ago, but I was struggling because I couldn't find a whole lot of info online with the tabs.
We can talk about that.
I was gonna ask for the lyrical concepts. What were the main themes and ideas you guys were writing about?
Basically different stuff for each. It's not like a concept album or something like that, but I think each song has a kind of overarching theme, and we try to weave in different other themes or topics into that. So it's just to give an example, maybe like in Frozen Dreams, it's about we took the sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
I don't know about that as a kind of inspiration or main theme, but it's not entirely about that, but also about you could take the theme and draw your own inspirations from it. So we always try to not be too how to say it in English, like to be too on the nose.
it's a little more vague. Like people can interpret their
Yeah,
own meaning from it, and it's not
yeah,
just Okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
yeah, sure. Yeah.
because that's what I really liked. The writing was like it. Obviously, there was an intended purpose for you guys that you had written about, but it also felt like you could interpret your own meaning and kind of put your own emotional connection to it based off of your own interpretation of the lyrics. Which for like Soul Voyage, that
Yeah.
song was probably my favorite off the album, as well as Touching the Ground. I know that's an instrumental, but I just thought that was such a beautiful song. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
I thought the final track, Soul Voyage, really lyrically resonated with me, and I was gonna ask what inspired the lyrics for that song in particular.
Um, uh, Basically, we had the music first. We had
Mm,
the whole song was finished before I wrote the lyrics to it, and I thought it needs to have some kind of epic uh, lyrics to it
mhm.
because kind of such a long song and an epic song. So I tried to come up with kind of a hero story, a hero voyage.
Okay.
Um, I don't know if you know about this concept of the voyage of the hero. I don't know how
Yeah.
to say it in English.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, yeah.
So, but I tried to make it not too cheesy. So I think basically it's about someone who doesn't really find his place in society and finds something that he's really passionate about. So like a purpose in life,
Hmm.
and he becomes chasing. He goes after it with all his heart and emotions, and yeah, basically that's the overarching theme. And then again, you can interpret,
Yeah.
you can draw your own interpretations from it.
Because I kind of
Mm.
interpret it as the first Star Wars movie. That kind of whole story of there's a kid who doesn't fit in. He doesn't like where he is. He hates the situation he's in, and someone kind of mentors him, and he finds passion doing this thing, which is fighting the rebellion. I don't know if I'm assuming you guys have seen Star Wars, but I felt like that's kind of what I interpreted from it too. But I just wasn't sure, so I didn't want to like tell you my meaning before I knew the official one, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's a story that has been told many times. Maybe
Mhm.
it's yeah. I think it's um, maybe a descending into madness as well. So maybe also an inspiration was the Lord of the Rings. Uh,
Actually, it's
yeah,
heresy, but I've never seen Lord of the Rings. Still,
Oh
yeah,
no.
but
I know it's bad.
you know
Watch it.
My
the
friends
ring
make
is
fun of me.
also something that's really powerful, and they crave after it, and it's like that in the lyrics to the song.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Um, I was gonna. So I thought the album cover, to me it seems very like '80s kind of retro inspired, like that whole not cyberpunk, but I don't know how to describe it. I don't know the official style name, but I thought, at least for me, it sounded like in my head what the album looked like. Like the cover sounded like the album, and what I was curious if the album cover was meant to mirror any songs in the album in any way, or if it had like an overall arcing theme.
Hmm.
I think the album cover mirrors, yeah, the topic
Hmm.
of the album Aletheia, and also the song Aletheia, in like showing a version of Aletheia. I think in the Greek mythology. Um, they show Aletheia like a naked woman that like comes out of a well.
Hmm.
No.
No, not of the well,
No, yeah, yeah,
but
basically
it shows
it's
it as a naked woman. I think that's.
yeah.
I don't know where the well comes
Basically,
from, but
I combined these two.
yeah.
M- there are more concepts like combined. You know,
Oh,
the Aletheia is the Greek goddess for truth or
Yeah.
yeah.
um, concealment. What's the difference of yeah,
Yeah.
like revelation, like something like that.
Hmm.
Um, and I saw this picture of or there are more like paintings of truth depicted as a woman who gets out of a well.
Mhm.
So we combined these two
That's really cool.
concepts.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I don't. I haven't seen an image of the goddess, but it's more like two concepts
Yeah.
combined
Okay.
um,
And I
into
think
one.
we added the light,
Hmm.
like the light and the demons, which
Yeah.
hit by the light, which are hit by the light.
I thought, yeah. I thought there's and that makes sense. I don't know much about the mythology behind it. And also like I don't know if this is intentional or not, but even down to the colors, like I don't know, whenever I listen to music I kind of like albums like the cover to I have an image of my mind with in my mind of what the album sounds like, and just like the whole the I guess the overarching like color theory behind the album cover sounded just like what I had in my head of what the album sounded like. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think we've felt the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like
Um,
when you listen to like Ride the Lightning. At least in my head, that album sounds just like the album cover as well. You know, it's like,
really
Oh.
blue. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
I mean,
Oh, sorry. Go
yeah.
ahead.
Sorry, maybe. Yeah. Maybe it's your next question anyway.
I was gonna ask, what's, because we kind of already got to the design or what sparked the idea for the album cover. I was gonna ask who designed it.
Mhm. Yeah, it's Lena Richter. She's
Okay.
a German painter. I think she's a tattoo artist. She does that for a living. But she painted a lot of covers which we liked.
Like the Hellas album, for example.
Yeah, on Night Eternal she did, and I think we spoke about asking her for the new album cover, and yeah we talked internally about the concept and so on, and then we reached out to her, and yeah, and she really understood what we had in mind, and really gave her own spin on
Yeah.
it, and all the color palette we didn't really
Yeah.
say that to her.
Mm.
It's hers, but we also thought it's really fitting.
Yeah, yeah. Did she hear any of the album before to kind of like get an idea, or
Um,
Mm,
I think
maybe some demons.
I think we sent her the demos.
Demos, yeah.
that probably helped? Yeah, just because yeah, like we talked about, it sounds just like it. I was uh, I was gonna ask who the woman is on the album cover, but I guess I didn't know that was a goddess, and I feel really bad because I should have known that. But
I honestly think it's based on her on
okay,
the painter. I don't know, but
I'm
but
truly
I
unable to
think
put those two together. That's my bad.
if you look up her Instagram account, I think many of the women on her paintings look really similar. I think maybe they are based on herself.
Okay, okay, that's really cool
Yeah.
though. Now kind of changing subjects a little. I want to move on to your guys' live shows. Um, and I've seen you guys doing a couple, you know, few little festivals around Europe and stuff like that. And I was gonna ask, what does each of your guys' live rig look like?
Yeah, cool question.
We're happy that you're asking this
I'm a
question.
big gear guy, so I like talking about
We love,
this.
That's
we love
great.
talking about gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we play. So every one of us is like playing classic amps. So
Yeah.
like we both have Marshall amps.
JCM
We also
800s.
use. Sorry.
JCM 800s.
Yes, he has an 800,
I know
I
that sound. Yeah.
and I have the JVM H410.
Okay. Okay.
So like a newer version, but I like the flexibility you have
Mhm.
in this amp, and I also have like can change in a lot of like presets. You
Mhm.
can do a lot of stuff in just with the amp,
Yeah.
different channels,
Mhm.
and we also use the amps on the album. So um, I think we're not like trying very hard to get exactly the same sound live, but I think we are pretty close to it.
It ends up
Yeah.
coincidentally because yeah, same amps. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, and we also try like to that both of our amps fit together, and like so we're not just focusing of our own sound. So
that
we
makes
try
sense.
the whole band is like so we have like a complete sound or
Yeah.
like the whole band sound as yeah.
I was
Yeah.
gonna also ask about the bass amps because the bass on this album sounded so well done. It was super, like a lot of times, at least in what I've heard, a lot of albums, the bass is either really muddy or you can't hear it at all. And the bass in your guys' is on Alethea sounded phenomenal. So I was just curious how you guys recorded that.
Um,
I think first of all we let a lot of room for the bass when we did the guitars.
yeah.
So we did first the guitars and then so and we already let a lot of space for the bass.
Yeah, bassist Robbie could answer this question better, but I think he was really he's really how to say it meticulous
Mhm.
when it came to recording. Already he recorded several tracks. I think for I think one with more. I don't. Maybe I'm talking shit here, but
I
so
think he used different basses and
yeah,
like
yeah. And actually, for the bass, he used a plugin.
Okay. Was it like a
That's
neural DSP or?
I think yeah, it was the mixing engineer. He's a bassist himself, and he has I think it's Neuro DSP, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I know they
And
have a couple bass amps plugins.
yeah, and they sat together, and our bassist Robbie really had in mind had a specific sound in mind, and we also said it should be the bass has to be audible, and I think it has a lot of mids,
It
a
does. It's a very beefy
more
tone.
clanky sound,
Yeah.
which I think you don't hear a lot in newer recordings,
Oh no, not at all. It's yeah.
which is a shame, I think. um,
yeah, we try to that the bass is equal as the guitars, like an instrument equal as the guitars.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Because they complemented each other really well. And like you said, the bass had kind of that clanky tone. Like it was very it almost had like a punky aspect to it. It was very raw sounding, and it kind of filled in like the EQs for the guitar, so it had this like huge, very stereo wide sound to it, which I
yeah,
really enjoyed. Which reminded me a lot of the old 80s thrash era albums where the bass was such a huge part of the sound, you know, and
yeah,
it's kind of fallen out of favor for
yeah.
recording.
Yeah, I think the big inspiration for him for the sound was the Overkill
Okay.
records of the yeah. I think they also had a really clanky kind
Yes.
of
Yeah.
going on. Yeah.
Um. Yeah. So I was gonna ask, what guitars do you guys like, or well, what guitars do you play live, and then what guitars did you record with?
Mhm.
on the album, I think there's just I'm not sure, but I think there's just one song which I recorded with a different guitar. It's an LTD King V.
Oh,
I
nice.
don't know the exact model name, but I think one guitar of the song Althea is with the guitar, and then I bought a new guitar. It's now an Ibanez Prestige model.
Ooh, those are nice.
Yeah,
So was it done with active pickups then?
no passive.
Oh,
It's
okay,
passive.
okay. Yeah. It had that because the once again the tones. What I really liked about especially the guitar tones, and the lead tones, is it felt it. A lot of modern albums that use mainly plugins, uh, it's not their fault all the time, but a lot of the tones sound the same because with neural DSP and all this stuff, it's easier to get a really good tone, but they all kind of have this same tonality to them because everyone's using the same plugin. Your guys' had a very unique sound that felt familiar in terms of like it reminded me a lot of those 80s thrash tones, but it didn't feel like every other album I've heard this year, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that was also one of the reasons why we really wanted to stick with amps because
Mhm.
as good as the plugins sound, I think in the studio you have this kind of like randomness to it when it comes to the mics you're using and the positions of the mics. You can really you don't know exactly how it's gonna sound, but it's gonna sound more unique, I think, than if you just choose a specific preset or something,
Yeah.
and then yeah. So I think we used the best of both worlds.
I think
Well,
yeah.
I think because we recorded the guitars at home, DI, and then we reamped it at the studio,
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
which is yeah.
I
And I
think
find all this. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
you used
For
the
the guitars,
Jackson
yeah.
guitar.
Yeah, I used mainly for rhythm guitars my Jackson Rhodes, and for some parts I used a Chauvel Model 3, I think. Yeah, it's like an
Yeah, I was trying to learn a couple of your songs. I was trying to mimic the tone. I don't have, I mainly use plugins, but I was using my Schecter, and I think I got a pretty close replication of the rhythm tones. And I really like that you guys didn't scoop the mids much. Like it sounds scooped, but it's not an extreme scoop that you hear in a lot of the modern albums that come out.
yeah.
I think we had one amp more scooped, like the JVM 410.
Yeah.
It was a little bit scooped.
Was it quad tracked or like the guitars? Okay,
Yeah.
that's why it sounded so huge. It had just like I said, I keep saying it, but just it sounded massive, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks.
Um,
Yeah, we were all really happy, and I think, yeah, I think we didn't expect it to come out the way it did, but our mixing engineer, we could really recommend him, and he had a guy with him in the studio who was a really like a gear nerd. He had all kinds of boutique pedals and stuff. We really had to stop him too.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
he had like a little cupboard, like in a guitar store where he has his pedals, different pedals, many pedals, and then every time he comes back with a different pedal. Let's try this one, and let's try again with this one, and so yeah.
Yeah. Pedals are fun, but they can be. It's an addiction. It really is. It's
Yeah.
yeah. I was
Yeah,
gonna
and
ask.
the difference. Sorry,
Go ahead.
and
Go
the
ahead.
differences were, I think, were so like minimal to from one pedal to the other. It was really
Yeah.
not a lot of difference. Also with the EQ settings of the amps, I think.
After a few hours, it was pretty difficult to hear the difference between okay, this was this one, and this one.
Yeah.
Difference is just so little.
Okay. That yeah.
Of the time.
And then I was also gonna ask for the live shows or the production side. Do you guys? Is it Do you have someone that comes along with you that helps mix the sound live, or is it typically gig to gig?
At the moment, it's gig to gig. We are. I think we are thinking about getting a mixing engineer, which will always travel with us. But it's also, yeah, you have to pay him, and it's also not that easy to find one, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, but it's mostly about the finances, I think.
Well, yeah, metal isn't the most financially stable genre, unfortunately. But yeah, I was gonna say because the couple live clips I was able to find online, going through YouTube and whatnot and Insta, you guys like it sounded like a really clean live show. Like everything was super clear, even from the phone recordings. And a lot of bands that you see live that are smaller or don't have their own mixing engineer, like a professional one, typically the live shows, some of the stuff can get muddled because there's so much going on. But from what I heard from the recordings, even though they were phone recordings, it sounded super super clean. So I was curious, like, what mixers you use and mics for the live rigs and stuff like that.
I think that's what we're trying in the rehearsal room before, or yeah, outside of the shows, that we have a sound prepared already, which like sounds good for the whole band. So every instrument has its place and also like enough space, so you can hear it also live. And I think we work a lot of in the rehearsal room for this, just for the sound.
But I also think that we learned a lot in the studio in this time about how to set up our gear, And also, I think our amps are really we don't. It's they have a lot of gain, but it's not like for example rectifiers or something like that. I think the Marshalls itself are already quite clear,
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
clean sounding. So yeah, I think that's also a reason why you can hear
Mhm.
the different instruments really well.
Yeah, because the gain. I mean, obviously it was very high gain, but it wasn't like it was very clean in the fact that everything felt separated and you could hear, like you said, each individual instrument. It didn't feel, yeah, any overlap. Um, I was gonna also ask, speaking on the topic of live shows, do you guys have a favorite song to play whenever you're playing live?
Uh, I think favorite song to play from the new album is, for me, it's Soul Voyage.
Okay, that
Yeah,
sounds like a fun one. Yeah.
for me as well.
Because
It's also the
we
most
did,
scary one.
yes.
I was gonna say that's a hard song. I was trying to learn it. That's a difficult song, man.
And I think
Yeah,
for us, like compared to the other songs, it's like the newest song
Mm,
because it was one of the last songs we finished.
mm.
So yeah, it's for us, or for me, it's like one of the
yeah,
fresh songs.
Well,
yeah.
actually, I meant to. If you don't mind me backpedaling for a sec, you mentioned that was the last song you recorded. Did you guys record it? Like, how did you record it? Was there a song you did first, or like, um,
Yes, there were a few songs that were finished first, like Holy Pale, or I think the next one was Aletheia, which was one of the first songs, or in Frozen Dreams.
I
Sorry,
think it
Made
was.
Man.
Yeah, I think it
Uh,
was different for the guitars and the other stuff.
yes, yeah. Some songs were ready, like in the guitar parts, for the guitar parts, and but the drums were missing or the bass. So yeah, there's some newer songs for us, like Soul Voyage, which was one of the songs we recorded later
mhm.
and just or had some parts and switched them around or added something.
Yeah,
Okay.
So Soul Voyage was the last song we, I think, completely finished, and also the last song we played with the drums. Yeah,
yeah,
Okay.
because we heard it with like the real original
Uh oh.
studio, I think.
Oh, you cut out for a second. Say it again. I'm sorry.
So Soul Voyage, the drums
Mhm.
on Soul Voyage, we heard it the first time in the studio, like it is on the album now.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
yeah, that's,
Mention
yeah.
a lot of the
hmm
songs also are very. You get there's a lot of, I mean, the Holy Pale, the chorus keeps getting stuck in my head all the time. It's like all the songs have very memorable vocal hooks as well. The vocals I thought were one of the standouts as well.
You think so?
Yeah, I
Cool.
really enjoyed the vocals.
Great. Uh,
Did you
yeah, they
guys
are
like?
kind of, I think, more a love it or hate it affair,
I kind of
which
like it though.
which is fine by us because I also like bands who are divisive and
Yeah.
the vocal sector.
Well, you
But
guys, I can hear the accent a lot, but I think it adds personality. I think it works really well for the sound you guys have.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
So,
There's an Austrian accent on the
yeah.
on the voice.
Uh,
Okay.
I was gonna try
No,
to
it's
learn a
not.
couple words in German because my dad grew up or didn't grow up, but lived in Germany for a while, and I've been to Germany a couple times. But
Ah.
I got scared because I am terrible at speaking German. But yeah. And then I was gonna. So sorry, is there a song that the crowd seems to enjoy most whenever you guys are playing live? Like one that gets
Yeah.
a particularly big pit going or something like that.
Mhm. I think from the new songs so far I'd say Aletheia is yeah, I think the energy is really cool
Yeah. Yeah.
in the crowd.
No. And we also have like in Aletheia in the chorus we have like the sing along part now. I
Yeah.
really because we don't have
Yeah,
a lot like sing along parts where the crowd can like sing the vocals.
Oh yeah, chant along. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, and
Um.
also I think Soul Voyage is also
No.
cool I think a lot of people who don't know us are quite surprised to hear um, for example, this Spanish section in the middle.
Yeah.
I thought that's my favorite part of the song. That was
Yeah, yeah. For us, it's
For
too,
sure.
but I think it's you can see the surprises in the people's faces. So,
weren't
which,
expecting it.
yeah.
What was your favorite song to record in the studio? Was there one that like the energy felt particularly good?
Yeah, for me, I have to repeat myself.
Oh yes.
It's also a slow voyage, but also I think touching the ground, because it gave us so many possibilities to experiment with different instruments. I think on touching the ground we had
Oh, yeah.
like a lot of acoustic guitars and synthesizers. And for Soul Voyage, in the middle section, in the Spanish section, our drummer used a lot of percussion instruments,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which was cool, I think, because it, yeah,
I
we're
also.
really fans of like bands like Rush
Oh,
as
I hear the
well.
Rush influence a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, so it gave us a lot of possibilities to experiment.
And I think also Kanashibari was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Because
That
we
was
also
another one of my standout tracks. That and Man
Yeah.
Made. I love the Man Made.
yeah,
Made
Made
Man,
Man,
yeah.
yeah.
Or I'm sorry. Made Man. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that would be a cool title as well.
Yeah, that was. I really love the intro to that one. The riff reminds me very much of like old school speed metal. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't have a whole lot of other questions. I'm sorry if this is at all awkward. This is my first interview really with any band, so I
No,
really,
it's all.
really appreciate you guys coming or sitting down to talk about it. If I'm ever out in Austria and you guys are playing, I'll definitely have to stop by and see you guys live. Yeah.
Where do you come from? From
New Mexico, Albuquerque,
located? Okay,
U.S. Yeah.
like Albuquerque or
Albuquerque. Yeah. Everyone either
Really?
says the
Oh.
two questions we get is that the Breaking Bad, or they say
Yeah.
is that part of Mexico? That's the two that people say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's really nearby or no?
It's no, it's or is what nearby Mexico?
No, Albuquerque.
Oh yeah,
From
Albuquerque's. I
the
live in Rio Rancho, so it's like it'd be like driving from. It's like a 20-minute drive to Albuquerque. I can get to the house that was used in Breaking Bad in like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So,
but
yeah, we really want to go to US sometime.
Yeah.
Because I think from at least online, I think the most resonance comes from either US or Southern America, places like Chile or Mexico.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, there's a
You-
whole kind of strip that a lot of up and coming bands do across like the bottom of the U.S. So they'll start over kind of near Florida and go across the south, so Texas, and then New Mexico, Nevada, and kind of end in Cali. And there's a lot of venues like we get for New Mexico being such a small state, a lot of bands that come in. So yeah,
Yeah, that would be awesome
yeah.
sometime.
Well, anyway, I really appreciate you guys sitting down. This will probably be out.
Thanks for the interview.
Of course, of course. This will probably be out in like a week. I just gotta sit down and edit it, subtitle it, all that stuff, and then I'll just shoot you guys a DM on Insta when it's up.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So it's on your main channel, or do you have a?
It'll be on my the Instagram. I'll send it to you guys. The account. It'll be on it then as well as my YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
Awesome.
Alrighty. Thank you again. You guys have a good one.
Thank you too.
You too.
Thanks.